Yay!
Okay, yeah. So I guess going into some of these behaviors that I struggled with in like my darkest times, because it is really dark when you think about it. You're like struggling alone.
It is dark, and like that's why you sharing like even like that one post about what you would do when you were hungry, like you should talk about that. But I was like, wow, I probably did weird shit like that too, and it was like so eye-opening to see that I wasn't the only one doing that.
And that it's not normal. Like people
Yeah.
don't know that they're not doing things that are normal until they're like, oh, someone's saying this isn't normal. Like, but my mom did that, or my sister did that, or does that. So it's like, this is just, I feel like it's going to eye open to everyone, just like it did to Soph on your Insta too.
Yeah. So I would say one of the biggest things that I struggled with, not only like in college, but growing up too, was binge eating at night. So, and that can be because of a few different reasons, what I've come to find out. The main one is not eating enough during the day. So when you're dealing with this pressure to be in a smaller body, to be skinnier, to look a certain way, you end up restricting your food. And so you end up being hungry all day long. And then what happens is, physiologically, your body's like, excuse me, ma'am, we need food right now. And so it's going to crave the most energy dense type of foods that is going to give it the most amount of calories because you've been starving it. So those foods are typically like the cakes and the cookies and the cereals and like all of those foods that are like super dense and that we fear and that we typically restrict anyway. And so that would make me believe that like I was addicted to these foods because I was binging on them at night. So my natural reaction was to then just restrict them entirely. Because I'm like, okay, like if I have this binging problem on this food, like I just need to get rid of it and then it won't happen anymore. But it was this constant cycle and you just don't know how to get rid of it. Because it doesn't make sense to like, oh, if you just eat more food during the day, like you won't be ravenous at night. So that was a really big thing for me. And it would go to the extent of like, I would eat just like plain egg whites in the morning. Okay.
I used to do that.
Disgusting. It's like 0 calories. And of course I'm going to be hungry like 5 minutes later, but I just didn't piece together in my brain. I guess it's really hard too to think objectively about yourself because you could know what to eat. Like I knew how to eat like an athlete, but in my mind I couldn't do it for myself. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say I played lacrosse through college too, and I had very similar patterns. Like I would do things like, cause I had to wear a little tiny skirt like for lacrosse, and like a tank top, and I didn't want to see my elbow, my flab and my armpits, you know what I mean? Like when you squeeze your arms too. And I would eat light because you'd look more lean to play, but then I would have to binge. I would eat topper sticks like almost every night, you guys, like a whole thing, because my body was like, you need food now, like not yesterday. And even in high school, I thought it was normal because I wanted to be more like fit, and everyone was so fit in high school. And to be honest, I was already in amazing shape. Like, like as an athlete, think about it, in your, 18 or whatever, I would go to work. I would go to practice for 3 hours and then I would go to Lifetime. Yeah. And I didn't think I had an issue. I just thought I was just working out, like getting better. Yeah.
I know.
That's a lot of working out.
Yeah. Like 6 hours a day.
It is a lot.
Sorry, I just related with your athlete stuff. It all started coming back and I was like, I need to tell her this.
Yeah, no. And it's crazy too that like, so your mind will kind of like push these memories aside because it just tries to forget about them.
Yay!